Pleasure to see some familiar faces and maybe some new ones too. Yeah, very nice to be here. A super nice event. Very happy that it's also very international. Covers a bit the perspective and of this industry. And just to follow up on what Florian said this morning, we also believe it's a very strong point that our industry needs to cooperate more and work together. So companies that are open to cooperation are always, what we also seek to work with. So yeah, let me present you TurfCoach. To start off with, maybe pretty straightforward. Who of the groundsmen who are in this room have ever been blamed to have a bad pitch after a game? Yeah. I see one of few hands. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a common thing. Yeah, and a common problem, right? That after a match, you prepare a match. You know, maybe the weather has changed. It's not as planned. Yeah, things haven't gone completely as you expected, and now the full pressure is on you, right? And everyone is looking completely at what your results were. And meanwhile, I mean, you are basically dealing with changing weather every day, completely unpredictable. If anyone doesn't believe it, look at the climate change. It makes it even more unpredictable. Yeah, you have rising energy costs, rising costs for your materials. And then, of course, if the pitch is too hard, too soft, or even just a player slips badly and gets injured, there you go, you are in the full responsibility. Meanwhile, you have managers who certainly do not understand anything about turf and are looking and putting pressure on you, yeah? And last but not least, you're supposed to have all this in a manage this bureaucratic nightmare, yeah? Have all of these documents ready at spot and be able to explain why you did what and why your expenses came from a certain angle or why you need another employee. So yeah, and you do not get the appreciation for all this pressure which you're managing, and which is a really tough position to be in. So who are we? Yeah, we are a software development company. We are not grounds experts. You are the grounds experts. Yeah, what we are experts in is listening to you guys and developing solutions to your problems. Yes, we have agronomists in there because if we wouldn't understand anything, we'd be completely lost. But what we have experts in is software development, and that's not easy, yeah? Because anyone who used the software will know it's a big difference between opening an Apple iPhone and knowing by intuitively that it works smoothly, or having a phone where you need an explanatory manual on how to use it. And where are we? Yeah, we believe with our company, we are not a little experiment or a trial, which is maybe run in one or few places, but we are expanding globally, but we started basically in Germany, and our two main hubs are Germany and the UK. Yeah, we are used by clubs, even entire leagues, and even different sports than just football. Yeah, and we're expanding and learning on this road. Now, what do we do? What we do is look at your problems and try to give you a data-driven tool that not only solves your problem, but also lets you explain to everyone else in the club why you need this to solve the problem. Be it more staff, be it whatever it is. So maybe let's make it very practical. When we started this company a few years back, this was the calendar of one of the club's grounds managers who might be even in this room. Matze? Yeah, there? Yeah. This was the calendar on one of his whiteboards. That was his attempt to keep a record of what happens on which pitch, at what time, which day. And so we said, okay, Matze, I mean, let's try to come up with a solution that makes this easier for you. So we developed a digital calendar where you can enter all the activities and see what has happened where, on which pitch. And you can also, this printed training plan, which you get every week, you can just have it there on a big screen and people will know what's happening. Then we jumped to the next spot and we went to England. And the first time I went to England, I don't know how many English gentlemen are here, but I would really like to see a raising hand if anyone complies with health and safety. Yep, not my surprise. Yeah, so I know that health and safety is a pain because if you would really want to do it, you would literally stack up these papers every day, have people sign off. Nobody does it. So then the grounds managers and grounds staff came to me and said, hey, can you develop a solution? I mean, it's super nice with the computer, but nobody uses a computer. And we need something which we can have on the app, tick off some boxes that we actually did health and safety checks. So what we did is we developed a straightforward solution, and we said, if guys will have to do things and enter manually different activities, there's a lot of different activities. Let's just place these QR codes onto machines. Let's just scan them with the phone. We know if it's a mower, whether it's an aerator or what it is, pop up a different pre-start checks form, and then tuk, 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 pre-start checks have been done. Yeah? So we developed that solution. Quite a few clubs here use that, and it's helpful. Covers you, yeah, and not only that, it starts calculating hand-arm vibration up. So if you reach the maximum, you get right away push notification, hey, you're at your maximum of hand-arm vibration. Simple solution. After that, there was a club which showed me their TV, and they had this Excel table which I had made up. Yep. And it was a good try, yeah, to kind of organize your day-to-day, yeah, based on the training plan which you get, and try to make sure what happens on which pitch. But the reality of most of the groundsmen was also, well, I get this call during the day that the one coach wants to shift the training by 30 minutes. The next one, next pitch has a problem with the irrigation. And yeah, actually, my head of estate wants to know how many hours we have maintained on which pitch. So can you somehow come up with a real-time planning tool where we can just, change something on the mobile phone and then everyone sees what they have to do on pitch 2, 3, or 4? So yeah, that's what I started developing then back in the days for Stan, yeah. And Sean's using it now, hopefully, every now and then. And this is helpful because they just have a screen up. Everyone can see in real time where is which activity happening, what's happening, and what might have changed. Yeah, push notifications on the phone, also letting you know if you have been tagged for a new activity. Then we went to a new beast. That was rather recent. I don't know, Christian, are you here from Inter? Yeah. Christian was, ciao. Christian was very keen on our fertilization and told us, mate, very bad idea to have to enter several products one by one, then the amounts one by one. I have cocktail mixes. I want to click on a button. I want to see my cocktail mix. I want to see the application rate for that cocktail mix. And then I want to tweak it a little bit, depending on the weather or what I believe is the right way. So we said, okay, not as straightforward. We need to know the nitrogen content of all the products, etc., application rates. But yeah, let us work something out. So we worked out a solution where on the mobile phone you can see your cocktail mixes. When you scan with the QR code, you can select it. You see the application rates. You can start tweaking it. With that, we immediately know how much you have left in stock. Yeah? And what we also can do is we can see, how much nitrogen has been put out, potentially how much has been consumed. Yeah? So you can start comparing it with growth potential on the growth page, with the rainfall, with evapotranspiration, with different factors, just to get a bit more potentially skipping fertilizing for a few days, or you know what, actually not forgetting it. Depending on what your preferences are, the main point here was make, again, the data useful for you in your day-to-day activity. Oh, this one, that was a big one. We just recently solved that. Fleet management. So, yeah, we started working with a rather famous tennis club, which told us, hey, we have 4 different sites. We have machines used all over all different sites. We would really like to know which machine has been used last. And if it was broken, we would like to have some sort of a push notification that the machine was broken going to our mechanic. So the mechanic, we sat down with the mechanic, we showed him designs developed by Ashok, our designer, and we improved the designs. Then we thought, okay, how can we make it possible? We already have the QR code. So now when the machine is broken, or the pre-start checks are not confirmed, you can just send a push notification to the mechanic. Hey, this machine is broken, it's unavailable. And he will know, okay, on pitch 2, Chris said, I don't know, Dennis mower, ES34 is broken, I need to repair it. So then the mechanic can go do it. If he scans the QR, what he sees is machine maintenance history. He can update usage hours, he can update how much it costs to maintain it, he can give you a reparation cost. And so out of nowhere, you start having a full record as to why you need to buy a new machine. Yeah, I mean, all of you guys have machines, some of you have them worth millions of euros, and you just have to go one by one to read the usage hours. You don't even know if maintenance cycles have been kept. Yeah, I mean, this was a problem which training grounds Andy at Arsenal mentioned to me and was like, Chris, please find a way how to solve this. So then we went ahead and we developed a solution. basically, yeah. Last but not least, custom reporting. Yeah, there we were. A lot of you guys do field measurements. Some of you have self-testing tools, be it from OBI or you get testing coming in from ProPitch, yeah, or you have measurement tools. Maybe some of you have raw data, maybe you don't, yeah, or SGL. At the end of the day, we just wanted to provide you a tool with, doesn't matter whatever measurement tool you have, yeah, you can reflect and look at the data. And now, then we started giving them trends for the data to see over time how is your data comparing, yeah, to what your last measurements were, creating little heat maps that you can flick through. Then we said, okay, useful, yes, the data entry is relatively easy with the mobile phone, but you need to be able to generate custom reports. So now, with the click of a button, you can look at all your maintenance activities and all your measurement parameters, select which ones you want to do, and generate a custom reporting with your company, with your club logo for management every day, every week, as often as they ask for it. So no hours of doing Excel, but just button, click, and there you go. And here you have a report. Salvaged took a lot of stress from a few clubs and was rather helpful. And this we developed even further for the Bundesliga, which is now using our tool across all clubs of Bundesliga 1 and 2 to manage and maintain measurements. Yeah. So what are we doing, or what are we planning to do tomorrow? We are planning to work and cooperate with whoever is open to it. So we want to integrate light rigs. If you have light rigs, we want to integrate them. If you have irrigation systems, we want to integrate them. Yeah, weather stations, integrate them. Under soil heating, because at the end of the day, make it very user-friendly. We are not producing any hardware. We're just integrating what you guys already have. Yeah? And give you a system that is comfortable to use and actually supports you in your day-to-day, so that data doesn't become an additional work, but actually becomes a way of how you can communicate. Tools, testing equipment, some of the testing equipment which is out there, yeah? Soil sensors, machinery providers, zillion machinery providers out there, and I'm sure they would want you to really take care of the machines that they give you and ensure maintenance cycles or provide you with the newest solutions. Autonomous robots too. Of course, partnerships with fertilizer brands so that you can order the fertilizer right away, or maybe test a new product which is specifically for your solution or for diseases. And last but not least, because we're a software company, a custom solution for whether you're a construction company, whether you're a maintenance company, whatever you might desire. Because at the end of the day, we can customize it the same way we can customize it for clubs. Now, small look at how this can look like for the future. Integration of Stogger light rigs. Yeah? You have a shade analysis that's anyhow already on our system, and then you can position your light rigs. You can even decide which program you want to run, whether it's a vegetation growth program, root growth program, and you can get a recommendation straight from our system. Yeah, which is obviously only as good as the data which we have, but it is helpful for you to know actually why and for how many hours you're putting this on, and getting rid of endless Excel tables and attempts to do it kind of by yourself. Similar, there's a huge problem which we've identified and we remain to see in this industry, which is exactly the problem I mentioned at the beginning. Grounds managers are blamed for bad pitches. Yeah, and the reality is, the coaches and the players, yeah, after they had a mad match, they just feel the liberty to blame on the pitch without understanding all of the work that you put into it and understanding why things might happen. So we said, hey, how about we turn this around and we start asking coaches, players, on a regular basis, hey, what's your feedback on the pitch? Certain parameters. Now, that might sound risky for a few of you, yeah, but by bringing them into the responsibility and having them take essentially responsibility for these comments, you are elevating yourself to talk on one level. Yeah, one level with a coach, one level with a player. And if a player always complains about a bad pitch, well, maybe we have to look at his boots, maybe we have to look at other factors. But essentially what we're doing is we're building bridges instead of having conflicts. Yeah, we're conflicts where we're giving you data to use and to improve, and the same way coaches are being educated and players are being educated. Now we're running this right now, not at first teams, but second teams and third teams across Europe, and it's working well. And we believe that this might be a future way of how to elevate, again, grounds managers. Because if you start having data, yeah, as your main tool in communication, it's not your opinion, you're not talking turf, things people don't understand, but you starting to talk with numbers in languages that other people in the club talk with. Yeah, and then they can start connecting and relating to it. And then there you go, already you take a big risk out of it, but you also empower yourself and position yourself in a completely new way. This is what we want to support you with internally in your communication with your own team, but also within the entire club. Because we are absolutely convinced that there's a big lack of recognition, and that with the data and with grounds managers taking the leap of approaching their clubs, you will be perceived also differently. And this change in perception will create improvement for the entire industry. We're talking about players being traded day to day for millions, and at the same time, sometimes grounds managers struggling to make the argument why they need a mower or a certain machine or lights to maintain this pitch so that the player doesn't get injured. And for this, we are seeking to ongoingly develop solutions for you guys. So yeah, open for questions. I didn't just want to talk and blur. I wanted to hear from you guys maybe if there's anything which is missing for you, what's the biggest challenge you would like us to solve potentially? Is there anyone communicating regularly with their coaches about pitch conditions? Oh yeah, I see that there. Nice. You want to tell us how? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Were you afraid before starting it? Were you afraid before you started it, like that it could backfire? Nice. Cool. Really nice. Anyone else? Or maybe any other feature which you're missing, which you would desire? How about fertilization? Who of you uses data to decide when he has to fertilize the next time? EC measurements or anything? Yeah. Okay. So, I see a hand in the back. Yeah. Next step on the growth page, exactly. Yeah. We were told that soil sampling and also leaf tissue sampling. I mean, we're not experts, but it would be really interesting to learn. And also, I think the fertilizer companies can provide the consultancy then for you guys based off that. Yeah. What about fleet management software? Anyone out there? Yeah, who knows? Okay. All right. So you see, I mean, I think we're tapping a bit on new territories, you know, which doesn't mean that's anything negative. It just means it's something which still has to happen in the industry. And I think for a lot of you guys who have adopted it already, it will bring improvements. Of course, it always comes with risks to a certain extent. But also for those who haven't, I think, yeah, the trend is kind of unstoppable. Yeah. What about measurements, maybe? Who of you does field measurements regularly? Yeah? You do? At Fulham? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, nice. What for? Yeah. I know Wimbledon has an entire organization which took... How many measurements did STRI take of you guys? Hundreds, yeah. Yeah. Quite a lot, yeah. Also, short tournament, very important. I know Florian takes measurements every now and then because the Bundesliga forces him now. But you also do it for yourself, no? Before. Yeah. So I believe it's a trend, yeah. And at the end, I think the data is there. If you are in the power of it, you know how to use them for your own good. Great. That's it, guys. Thank you very much.